Hey friends, welcome back to Artists of the Way. I'm Jon.
Yep, he is. And I'm Nate.
And we are your hosts for the podcast. Today we're chatting about some of the artists and theologians that inspire us.
Yeah.
But first,
What?
Nate,
Yes.
what have you been consuming this week?
Consume?
Nom,
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 nom, nom.
We're just really jumping right in. We're zooming right fast. We have no preamble for you, just straight to the content, except for this preamble about how we have no preamble.
Yes.
And we're straight to the
make
content.
sure we include that every week.
This is your disclaimer that we have no preamble. But yeah, Nate, what are you taking in this week?
Well, Jon, let me... I'll say your name as slow as possible so I can remember what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
I watched a movie
What movie?
that I've been wanting to watch since like last year, way back last summer.
Ages ago.
Summer even. But I wanted to watch F1.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I've not. How was it?
It was fine.
All right. I've heard it's like a classic dad movie.
Yeah, it is. It is. Which I was like, yeah, I'm
Right.
way
That's
up
gonna be
for
fun.
that.
Yeah.
And it was what you were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it could have been a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Brad Pitt driving. He drives all kinds of cars,
Nice.
and this time he's driving F1 cars.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's the old guy, and so it's directed by the same guy
Classic.
who directed Top Gun Maverick.
And Tron Legacy, which is a great movie.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you not seen it?
I've not seen any Trons.
Tron 1,
Yeah,
weird,
it's good.
kind of lame, but super important for film.
Yeah, with the tech, you mean?
Yeah, but it does. It's like Spartacus, but all the shots are static and it's in black and white, and it's just a little weird. But Tron
I've
Legacy,
not seen Spartacus
really
either.
great. Spartacus is just like, oh no, it's like the template for like I'm a gladiator.
Yeah.
I've got to fight my way out and lead a revolt and all that stuff.
Right.
Anyways, I've completely derailed
No, that's okay.
your thing to talk about Tron.
I'm not talking about Tron. Oh, wait.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Until we
yeah.
talk about Tron Ares, which I watched. I did not watch it. Tron Ares.
No,
Because it has Jared Leto.
you avoid that.
I avoid him. Anyways,
I don't know if I've actually seen him in anything.
listen.
I know that he just keeps on he keeps getting cast, and people keep on being like, "Oh, why'd they cast
He
him
must
again?"
have blackmail or something. He is the most unhealthy method actor out there.
Right.
Just, I don't need to get into it. I would take up the whole podcast ranting. So back to F1,
Yes.
directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt and
Some other people.
that guy.
Oh yes.
He was in Dune, and he was the bad guy in No Country for Old Men, which I also haven't seen.
Jeff Brolin? Josh Brolin?
No,
Benicio del Toro?
Benicio del Toro.
Nice.
Yeah, he's good.
Cool.
Yeah, but so yes, I've heard it's supposed to be kind of like Top Gun Maverick,
Right.
and you have like
Which is great.
which was great.
Yeah.
You have like your cool old guy coming back in. We need the cool old guy, and he's going to teach the youngster how to be good, which it was. But I think Brad Pitt's cool guy, at least in this, it seemed a little plastic,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think like Tom Cruise pulls it off really well.
Yeah.
And there were definitely a lot of good moments.
Sure.
In this where he was doing well. But it was also oddly confusing. You think in like a sports movie that
is
wouldn't get
straightforward.
very confusing, but there's all of this like, if this happens, then this will happen to the business, and if that happens, that will happen to the business. But they didn't really explain it well, and it was a lot about like, we got to keep the business going for Benicio del Toro, who's brought Brad Pitt in and stuff. And but the filming of the racing was really good.
Sure.
It looked really cool.
I believe that.
So there was good things.
Yeah.
It was worth watching, but it was like I've been looking forward to watching this for like months, like half a year, and it was like
didn't quite live up to that.
Yeah.
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 Bummer.
What have you been consuming?
I have been consuming. All of a sudden, you were talking, and I was like, "Should I talk about something I've watched?" I'm on like a little bit of a sabbatical, so I'm trying to read more. But I have been watching Comfort Show, which I just think will be funny to share
Okay.
about and then I can touch on what I'm reading as well. There is a show that I grew up with that I love that is ridiculous called Little Mosque on the Prairie.
I thought that's what you were saying.
It's the premise for those of you listening who don't know, which I'm sure is everybody except for my mom and my brother.
Hi, Tracy.
And my friend Richard Patterson, if he listens to the podcast, which I don't think he does.
Come on,
somehow
Richard.
He's seen this. Come on, Richard. I just need to call him a prude because that worked for Sam. I called Sam a prude and then he started listening. So,
wow.
yeah. So if anybody has a podcast or something where you're like, I really want to get my family
That's
involved.
crazy that worked, Sam.
I know. I just called him a prude and then I was like, just so you know, I called you a prude because you don't listen to my podcast. And he's like, well, now I have to listen to all of it to spite you. And he continues to do so to spite me to this day.
Not because he likes it.
No. He hates it. I think he's fine. But the premise is it is a small town called Mercy in Saskatchewan, Canada. So way up in the country. And there's this small mosque in this small town, and they've not been able to find a spot for a mosque. And so one of the members starts renting out the parish hall and associated office space of a church for his construction company.
For his construction company? Oh.
And then just says, hey, mosque, you can meet in the parish hall. I've definitely rented this as for our mosque space. It's totally fine. Ask no questions. And the first episode, they get found out. But then the priest is like, well, we might be able to make this work. Here's a lease that reflects what you actually need to do. But it's just so silly. And is it good? I have no idea. But I love it.
It's a comedy?
It is. I just think... Yeah, it's a sitcom. It ran for like 6 seasons, but the 6th season in my mind doesn't exist because it does one of the worst character assassinations I've ever seen.
Oh shoot! Did it make the priest Muslim?
Did it make the what?
The priest Muslim?
No, that would have been strange. A strange turn for that show. No,
you said it was one of the worst. Huh?
No, there's the contractor guy that I was talking about. He and his wife just have a wonderful marriage. They're such a sweet couple. They're so fun. And then randomly, the actor had to move on to other things, but the way they decided to write him off is that they got divorced.
Oh.
Which is ridiculous because they already had a really easy out, which is that he's part Lebanese. He was already in Lebanon a lot in the previous season. So he could have just stayed in Lebanon doing a construction job.
Yeah.
Or they could have done like they're having marital trouble, but then at the end he pulls out a big because he's this very big grand gesture guy and he's always hatching these crazy schemes. So he could have done a really big grand gesture to get her back. But nope, it's just kind of depressing and weird. And I'm like, why would you do that to Yasser?
That's so sad.
I know, it's awful. But I just think the show is really charming, and I really enjoy the characters. And generally, they're all, like, decent people, which is always just nice. They all have their little, like, things, but when you drill down to the core, it's like, oh, but you're decent. You help each other out.
Like Andy Griffith show sort of thing.
Yeah. So it's just, I find it cozy and silly, and... Probably not, certainly not theologically accurate or anything like that. I'm not looking for any deep
to Muslims, it's not theologically accurate.
It's not theologically accurate for any of us. I'm sure we could unite, but generally we'd be like, this probably does not. I think it does a decent job of representing each faith, but it's also very interfaith is really because it's a church and a mosque meeting in the same building. So it has a lot of conversations about interfaith dialogue, which those I think can be helpful, but then a lot of conversations of there's a lot of ways to heaven, which generally Christians and Muslims would both be like, well, but not exactly. Really. Yeah. We're for interfaith communication, and if there's a community project we can work together on, why not better our community together? But,
right.
So anyways, probably nobody would on either side would find it super theologically astounding, but I just think it's fun. The more theologically rich thing I've been engaging with is I'm just picking back up a book called The Contemplative Pastor by Eugene Peterson, which I'd read in school, which meant that I blazed through it so that I could get my assignment.
Ironic. Non-contemplative student.
No, I was flipping through because I could not remember if I'd read it before. I was listening to an audiobook of another book, and then it mentioned this book, and I was like, oh, that sounds like really timely for where I'm at. I should pick that up and read it. And then it was in my library, and I was like, oh, I have this. I think I maybe read this for school. Are these sticky notes on the side mine? I flipped through them like, I think they are. This looks like my kind of underlining because my hand shakes a little bit.
No
and then
memory.
I flipped and I found a note. There's like a poem section at the end, and I found a note that literally said, "You are reading these too fast. Slow down." And just in my handwriting to myself, like I was reading it too fast. I don't remember any of this book. But it's just been very, very lovely so far, and it'll tie into my Struck by the Spirit as well. But it's just, I'm only like a chapter in, but yeah, just really nice about, we trying to be unhurried as leaders, that a real danger comes for us when as Christian leaders we get caught up in the world's sort of what's the word? I don't know, assumptions pace. It's sort of instructions on you have to do this to succeed, and this and this, and meet these benchmarks, and keep pressing, keep growing, this and that. And he's like, really, pastors need to just be able to slow down and be with people. I can talk a little bit more about that in Struck by the Spirit, but it's been nice. So Nate.
Yes.
You were about to.
I was about to transition.
I stole your thumb. Transition. Do it for us. Transition beautifully.
Struck by the Spirit.
We should get like a thunder sound effect that I can like play off my phone.
Or
we could get like one of those like metal like sheets that you can like shake and it makes the thunder sound.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that would sound on the recording, but to us it would be cool. That's true.
It's not so floppy, but we could bang it.
We can bang most anything. I should just punch the microphone.
Quote of the show. You can bang most anything.
That really should not be the quote of the show.
No, it shouldn't.
Can I leave that in? I don't know. Maybe I'll tag it onto the end. I don't know. Anyways, if I didn't tag it onto the end, I'm sorry. If I did tag it onto the end and you're here, you're welcome. So, Nate, you were asking how I'd been struck by the Spirit, or am I asking how you've been struck by the Spirit?
How struck by the Spirit have you, John?
What I was saying. Yeah, I just think, so the last 2 years have just really been nonstop since the start of 2024. Life just went completely bonkers. So, and it's just been like one stressful thing after another, mixed in with a lot of really great, beautiful things. So it's not just been persistent
mixed
stress.
So you can't complain well then.
I know. I'm like, come on. But it has just felt like I've just gotten more and more exhausted and more burnt out. Finally, an opportunity opened up where I can take a little bit of a sabbatical. So I've been trying to take the last week or two just to sort of breathe and try and reconnect with God a little bit and work through some emotions and things. And I'm very much still in the process of that, so I don't have a neat tied up thing. But
it's okay.
Today, God's just sort of been, the last couple of days, he's sort of been massaging into me this idea of slowing down, which is frustrating that he's bringing that back to me again, because that feels like that's been a repeated refrain of his to me throughout my life of, well, John, you need to slow, like it's probably over a decade or close to a decade at this point of, remember, John, you need to slow down. And I'm like, yes, I've got it. But I think he's asking me to slow down and consider slowing down instead of just being like, yes, I've got it. I need to slow my pace down and balance things better. I just think these were a lot of concepts that like I've known, and I think I'm just relearning. Like, the world is just not dependent on me hustling. This organization, Artists of the Way, is not dependent on me being a workaholic. One of the things my priest says a lot that I love is that in the kingdom of God, we don't run according to the world's laws of supply and demand. We're in God's economy. He is the one who is overseeing all of this, and we steward it, but it's his things, it's his will that determines it. Like, I've been working a lot on fundraising for Bandstand because we've got that coming up, and I can have a tendency to get really anxious about that, or to be like, oh my gosh, we're not where I want us to be. I need to get us to that point. And well, then I just need to reach out to way more people and come up with even another strategy. Like I could just get sucked into a pit of thinking about that all the time. Yeah. And just be like, be a good American and pull myself up by my bootstraps and do that. And just remembering that, no, really, this is all according to God's will. The things that are going out, the things that we're doing, the opportunities that I have, the moments that I'm in are God's will. So how can I be more present and more slow? How can I do things that help me be in a steady place so I can be a healthy presence to others? And how can I just be rooted in the fact that God is present? Like, there's a lot of this presence talk happening. But a line in The Contemplative Pastor that struck me a lot was the first, I think it was technically the foreword, was like an interview from, I think the editor, one of the editors at Christianity Today when the book was written, went and interviewed him. And he was talking about like his role as a pastor. And he was like, sometimes I feel like
diminishingly
this happens less and less now. He's like, sometimes I feel like the only job I have as a pastor is just to say God's name where it hasn't been said in a situation before, and just to remind somebody that God is there and that maybe he's doing something there, so to help them recognize that.
Wow.
And that's just struck me, and I was like, I feel like I need to be doing that for myself as well as for other people, but definitely for myself, to just remind myself, hey, all this stuff, God is actively working.
Yeah.
And because God is actively working, I can rest in that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I'll forget it tomorrow, but for today, I'm loving it.
No, I really like that. That's good for me to hear, because I think I can struggle maybe differently than you, but definitely, like, especially at home, I feel like I always have like this, then this, then this, then this, then this. And I often find myself putting the less important things ahead of like more like relational things and stuff. It really would be better if I got this dish done. Wouldn't that make the best thing? Right. That'd be the best thing for everyone, wouldn't it? And when really, maybe I need to do what's important for someone else, or my wife might want me to take a break because that's better for me and for everyone. But no, I really should get these dishes or whatever done. And so I've been trying to listen to that no, this is kind of selfish, and like this doesn't have to be done right now. And it's kind of, once, like, when you recognize like what you're doing, when I recognize what I'm doing, it's kind of disgusting of like you're stopping doing like the helpful relational thing to do a menial mean nothing thing just because in your mind this has to happen now.
I think there's a lot of things that can play into that. Like, I think we live in a world that prizes productivity so much that we get a dopamine hit. Like, it feels like you complete a thing in the video game and the character like jumps and does a spin and you get big sparkles and you're like, yay. Some personality types can be more prone to it. I can definitely get sucked into like, I have to do this now and I have to figure it all out now. Like, I can definitely get pulled into like an obsessive sort of mode with that stuff. But I think slowing down and just really reminding myself of that maybe I don't need to do this now, and maybe it would be good for me to just look out at the snow and breathe for a minute. Whoa. Even though I want to like check my email again and see if I've gotten a response from this organization or about that thing, or even though I want to be writing because I want to complete my book, or even though I want to be reading this book so that I can be better at writing, or whatever number of things, maybe it would be good for me to breathe. And it's different than laziness because it takes an intentionality that laziness can't have.
Right.
Like I can't, it is not, playing a video game I feel like does not meet this requirement. Playing a video game with other people can, because that's more of a communal thing, but playing a game by myself usually 9 times out of 10 does not really meet that requirement.
Yeah, it's not a restful thing.
But it's something about being embodied.
Yeah.
it being embodied in stillness.
Yeah. Intentionally.
Yes.
And not being brought along by the stream of things like scrolling on your phone and stuff, because that's just more things coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it takes energy and effort to do intentionally, which is, again, probably a reason why it's hard in our day and age, because we have such a fast pace that we get burnt out. We get home. What do I want to do? I want to flop on the couch and I want to watch TV, or I want to play through this game that I can breeze through easily, or scroll on Instagram and see funny things that make me laugh for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much easier. But
but then when you don't do that, like last night I was doing dishes, which it's nice to get done.
Yeah.
But I usually will like turn something on to listen to, but like I didn't, and my mind was just like full like the whole time, and stuff. And I was thinking about the podcasts I was listening to earlier in the day. So I still which is, there are better examples of this working than that.
No, I think that's a great example, because I think we can overconsume. Because I'm very much, oftentimes I'm like, how can I best optimize my intake of information so that I can be acting at my best? Like, okay, Shay wants to publish a book this year, so I have these couple tasks of like, how can we build a good platform? And I want to research a couple different companies to go through and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, that's like some elements I can do. I want to be taking in podcasts that can help me be thinking theologically and be challenged, and also that so that I'm just continually in the world of podcasting, so that I'm good with this podcast. And also I want to be taking in some books and things. I want to be taking in fantasy books and beautiful prose so that I can be a better writer. And so oftentimes when I have a menial task, I can be like, okay, what of these haven't I done yet?
Right.
I haven't listened to some beautiful prose, so I'm going to put on something and I'm going to do the dishes. But I've already listened to maybe a whole podcast with a lot of challenging ideas that I should maybe sit and think through for a day before I just cram in more ideas.
Yeah. Like, it can be amazing the thoughts that you as a person can have on your own that may or may not be put there by someone else directly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I was actually a person here for a few minutes.
Yes,
that's what it feels like.
There is a sense of like, I am being more of a person and less of a machine.
Yeah. Less of just like a nom-nommer.
Right. Maybe we should cut the nom-nom-nom from
so
consume.
Fun, though.
It is really fun. Intake? No, that sounds really cold and medical. I'm opening my intake valve for art. That's the art being loaded in. Hey, but that's some good art to be intaked.
What did I sing?
You sang Superman.
Oh, okay.
Good art. In most of its forms.
I felt I was doing something John Williams-esque.
You were. You did. So, Nate, how have you been struck by the Spirit this week?
Oh, well, I think I'll say something that what you said made me think of when you were talking about like that like I already thought I learned the lesson about rest. Right. And I think earlier this week, like, was it this week? Whatever. Doesn't matter. They don't care.
Time is nebulous. Some people could be listening to this 3 years in the future. Some people could be listening to it 8 weeks in the past.
When did you think that?
Give us the date.
But just the seeming fact of life, even Christian life, that we keep on learning, we keep on growing, and how annoying is that?
I know. I want to be done.
And
over. I'm done.
Yeah, like hard things keep happening, and you don't reach perfection. I think something about my personality, I have the tendency, like, once like I learn a lesson or get over like a hard thing, it'd be like, nice, we're good now. And it's just gonna be smooth sailing, wonderful life after this. Life is wonderful, but even with continuing to learn is what I have to learn. And
life is beautiful life is beautiful in its incompleteness.
Wow.
Which in a lot of ways is a lot like art.
That's hard. That's hard to take. Both of those things. So I need to meditate on that more. And I found though this week that the Psalms are helpful with this idea because there's a lot of stress happening but a lot of encouragement amidst that, and like God is your refuge. He sings a song over you and various things like that, and that's happening amidst the you're not finished yet, which can feel very discouraging, but God holds you up and he's with you in that. And so it's just very nice to read the Psalms.
Yeah, the Psalms are great.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. A little ad break for you here. Know how you love those. Here over at Artists of the Way, we are doing a fundraising campaign for January and February, and we're calling it the Fill the Stage campaign. This is so that we can make our next show, Bandstand, really happen. We need to raise money from people exactly like you, just like you. We're looking to raise $20,000 by the end of February, and we need your help. A little bit counts is what I hear, so give whatever you can. You can give more than a little bit, it's fine. But this is a show that we really believe in over here at Artists of the Way. It is a beautifully written, beautiful music show. It takes place just after World War II and has this great big band style music where the actors are actually playing the instruments on stage. It's a very happening right in front of you show, and it highlights the struggles that our veterans go through, different struggles for different individuals, and helps us think about this group of people with more empathy, and that they're really just humans who have gone through some really hard things and affects them differently. And this show helps to highlight that. So please help us make the show happen. It's going to be an awesome experience for you to see or for you to participate with, and as an actor or by helping us behind the scenes even. So go to our website and you can give there to the Fill the Stage campaign. As more people give, we're going to keep on filling in a little drawing of the stage is being filled with, now we can buy these props. Now we can have this rehearsal space, and it will be a beautiful thing to behold. Thank you guys so much for your support. Now back to the show.
So on to our main topic for the day. Nate, what are some... Oh, I'm going first, aren't I? I'm saying this, and Nate is just staring at me with terrified eyes.
No, that wasn't even it. We're supposed to make up a jingle each week, a different jingle.
Oh, we are?
Till we land on a good one for main topic.
I was about to do the same one I think that we did last week.
The one I did last week.
Then I co-opted it into something else. It's the main topic. Main topic time. It's the main topic. I don't know what time signature you're in. It's the main topic. Yeah.
Ba-dum-dum.
Clearly, I need to freshen up on my singing ability.
I think that was nice.
Thanks. So, Nate.
Yes.
Am I going first?
So, John, tell us, what's our main topic? You did mention it earlier, but who remembers that?
They could have been on their phone, not listening.
On their other phone.
They have two phones. One is a flip phone because they despise technology. And
I
one
saw
is a smartphone.
a Babylon Bee article this week that says Apple comes out with a new iPhone to put in your other hand. And it's a picture of a guy holding two iPhones.
That's great. The left-handed iPhone.
Yes.
Or if you're left-handed, the right-handed iPhone. It's reversible. But yes, we're talking about the artists and the theologians that inspire us.
Yeah. Who stood out to you?
3 came to mind. I'm sure that this is not an exhaustive list, but these are the 3 that came to mind. One of them will be very redundant.
We'll do another podcast on the tier 2 and then tier 3 in the
and then we'll
future.
do a tier list at the very end. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Well, the first person that came to mind was a theologian when I was thinking about it, just because I've been meditating on some stuff recently, and it's just made me think about Dietrich Bonhoeffer again.
That's what I was going to guess. I was like, should I guess what yours are?
What do you think the other two are?
Okay. Well, I didn't think that until you started talking, but I was going to guess Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
Yep. Sure you were.
And then, okay, for the other two, it's going to spoil if I guess.
Why don't you guess it right before I say it?
Okay.
Yeah, just, and I'm woefully underread in his theology. I really need to read his theology. It's one of my goals.
I was just thinking it'd be fun to mispronounce that word woefully.
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 I'm woefully underread. But and that's one of the things
You've read more of him than I have.
Well,
I've
thanks.
read like none.
I've read a little bit.
Okay.
But his life was so inspiring, and the way in which he didn't compromise his faith. He's just such a pure example to me of somebody that said, I am not going to, clearly not bow to the Nazis.
I am not going to try to kill Hitler.
But I just find it fascinating the ways in which he's like, I will not like lock myself into some particular narrative. The truth of Scripture, the truth of the Christian faith is what it is.
The whole culture is going against.
Yes, and I have to stand firm in that, regardless of what is happening in my country. I have to stand firm in fighting about it, regardless of what bishops in England are saying. Yeah. I have to do it. I can't roll over. I can't address this a different way. I have to come out and say it. And there was a lot of differing views on how to handle that, and it was just a messy time in the church. But he just did, and the way in which he I can't think of the right word, resisted, I suppose, seemed so purely Christian. He built a seminary and was like, I'm going to train the next generation and I'm going to write. And yes, there was I think the assassination attempts on Hitler tend to get the majority of the looks, but really most of his time was spent trying to train people, trying to wake the church up to what was happening and its responsibility as people of the kingdom of God and writing. And I just find that incredibly inspiring, and I think I'm finding it challenging in this season. I'm feeling a challenge to revisit what's my social responsibility as a Christian, because I am centrist and I have tended to pull way back on my political engagement just because that hasn't been fruitful previously in my life. But I'm feeling a nudge to re-examine that, and Bonhoeffer is a big example of that for me. But also just theologically, he has a really rich understanding of the essentials of the gospel and the call of Jesus on his people and how that ought to function. And he just was a remarkable theologian amidst all the chaos. Like, it wasn't just that he was an impressive figure standing against the Nazis and doing so well. It was also that he did great theology and wrote influential works in that time. Right. Just as a whole package, I just love Bonhoeffer. So
he's the whole package.
He's great. He's got a statue somewhere. I can't remember what cathedral. There's a statue of him, but it's neat.
In a cathedral?
Yeah, like on the outside of a cathedral. I don't remember what one it is, but
because he wasn't even Catholic.
Well, cathedrals aren't just Catholic. I don't think.
Are they not?
I don't think so. I don't think they are, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe they're like Anglican cathedrals?
Yeah, could be. Oh, he was Lutheran.
Baptist cathedrals?
Lutheran could be. If there's a denomination that doesn't have cathedrals, it's probably Baptist.
Non-denom cathedrals?
I would more readily believe there's a non-denom cathedral. Definitely not a Pentecostal cathedral, though. That was the other one that came to mind. Like, don't think that's happening.
No.
So
they don't want it.
They got the Spirit. We've all got the Spirit.
Yeah. They have it more, which is nice for them.
I'm envious.
Yes.
No, I love Pentecostal brothers and sisters. Yes. Have a lot of admiration. Anyways.
Yes.
I'm going to punt it over to you so we can alternate. He's caught the ball, ladies and gentlemen. He's done it. He's running with it. He's going. He's going to be a slam dunk. Who is somebody that inspires you?
I was playing football. That wasn't a slam dunk time.
Oh, well, that's what you get for bringing sports into the Arts podcast, Nate.
I'm always talking about basketball.
You've already talked about it twice. You think you could get away with a third time?
You brought it up this time.
But yeah, who's somebody who inspires you?
You know, I was a little surprised by my answer for myself.
Yeah.
Because, so this is like influential.
Yeah.
And there's like ones that I thought of that like I do engage with a lot and which are truly influential to me still. But I was thinking like a lot of influential can go back to youth.
Yep.
You know? And so for me, I'm going to say Adventures in Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Did you listen to Adventures in Odyssey?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, Adventures in Odyssey and Focus on the Family Radio Theater, which is essentially the same thing. Mm-hmm. When they did so many good productions. They did a Bonhoeffer.
They did.
Which made all of my all my knowledge of Bonhoeffer. It was great. But
Screwtape Letters with Andy Serkis.
So good. So good. There's Anna Green Gables that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. There's a series called Father Gilbert, who's like an Anglican priest detective, which is really good. That's really your thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, specifically the Adventures in Odyssey as were, I think, formative to me in lots of ways.
Yeah.
I think they had good art.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of good art, great storytelling, and you can compare it against some like Christian radio dramas of the day that aren't Adventures in Odyssey.
Well, I remember
it's striking.
Growing up, I don't know if you listen to this, but on 91.3 WCSG, the local Christian radio station.
Sunday night is family night.
And you had the pond.
I did like the pond.
I liked the pond too, but comparatively to the other, it did feel like it was like, can we increase quality as we go later into the night? And so then it was always like, can I make it to Adventures in Odyssey time? Because it was the pond and then down Gilead Lane.
Right.
And then, which was
I think it's maybe decreasing quality over the pond. Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
I mean, the pond does have some great jokes.
Yes.
It is just some good comic fun. But then you get to the Holy Grail Adventures in Odyssey. If you could stay up till like 9 or 9:30 or whatever. And it did feel like
8:30.
This is the primo. It could have been 8:30. That probably would have felt late at that time.
my parents' kitchen, like sitting on the
you
by the little
also
radio.
were probably older than me when this was happening, so you'd probably remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Did we listen to Sunday Night Family Night at the same time?
We probably did.
Wow. Look at that.
We were ear buddies, family. We were ear family over the air.
Over the airwaves.
But like they do some great stuff. They're still going after like 30 plus years.
Which is insane.
It's just crazy. Things I appreciate about them art wise is for kids, but for the most part, they didn't talk down to kids.
No, yeah.
They used a lot of like advanced language and they would sometimes define it, but not in a way of, we're defining this for you, little kid. Right. Sort of thing. And like, if you didn't get something, if you didn't get a joke, if you didn't get like a term or the real content of what they're talking about, they were okay with that. And it was still good. Yeah. Like, Barron is listening, my 2-year-old is listening to Adventures in Odyssey a lot right now, and he really likes it, but he's not getting like 50% of what they're really talking about, but he still loves it. And like I think that we were listening to an episode that I've heard tons of times. I listened to all of them tons of times, and I think I just like got a joke now finally.
That's awesome.
So they're good with that. They're good with not feeling like they have to make their characters perfect. Or even like, or even if they do something like say something snarky, they don't necessitate having to come back and fix that, Right. Because that's just not human. That's just not the way the world is. And so it's really good. Lots of good adventure. And so much of like my knowledge of like Christian morals, of the Bible, my mind just often goes back to Adventures in Odyssey, where like I saw these lessons played out in stories, and so it was really, that was really meaningful to me.
That's a great answer.
And it's so fun having kids now. Like we had our first like we have a road trip and we can play Adventures in Odyssey with the kids now.
Yes.
It's so great.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adventures in Odyssey is great. I still think about the Novacom saga. I think it's just a great thriller series.
It is. And I think apparently that series, which is like tons of episodes long, came right after a period where they were kind of like creatively dying a little bit. They were like started to do like half episodes, like within the episode there was like 2 stories sort of thing. And so they like, okay, let's do something big instead of just these little bite-sized things. So they made this huge saga, which is probably not their most like spiritually poignant
no, not at all.
And sometimes they have to be like just kind of shoehorn in like, and we just have to trust God, you know, at the end.
We have to trust that God is going to help us defeat this megalomaniacal, horrible.
And that
like Captain America Winter Soldier vibes.
It was. It seemed like prophetic to this time very much of like some of the technology things
I just
that are
remember
happening.
As we would get further along in the series and more episodes would be like, this episode may not be suitable. And then you get to like the end few episodes and it's just like every episode's like, this episode may not be suitable for under 13. Once again, this episode, and I was just like, oh yeah, let's go. I'm under 13 and I don't care. It's epic.
It's really good. We have like that whole CD set if you ever want to borrow it.
We also have that whole CD.
Do you?
Yes.
Nice.
Good job. Nice. Well done. But I might you could borrow ours and we could borrow yours.
Good. That would
be fun. Friendship. Yes.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
All right, what's your next inspiration?
It's
wait. Okay, yes. I have to guess.
Yep.
Tolkien.
Yeah. I've probably talked it to death, so I'll just say it very briefly. Something I was talking to friend Walt Williams in the car yesterday. Was that just yesterday? I think that was yesterday. About like Tolkien and Lewis and just the Inklings writers and writers of that era and location. There was just something about them that just so naturally integrated their faith into their storytelling and into their art in ways where I'm just like, that just feels like the pinnacle. And of course, I'm writing a fantasy book. And like every single fantasy author, I'm inspired by Tolkien because either they're inspired to do exactly what Tolkien did, or they're inspired and they're like, I'm going to do something different, but then they do exactly what Tolkien did. Or they're like George R.R. Martin and they're like, I want to know what Aragorn's tax policy was. And think that Tolkien sucks.
What was his tax policy? How was this going to work practically?
Right. But then his fantasy just becomes so influenced by Tolkien because it's just trying to be the inverse of that, but with the same palette. So of course I'm influenced by Tolkien, and I probably don't need to talk about that anymore.
Well, let me ask you. So I'm a big Tolkien fan too, though I'm kind of like a little bit of a poser because I haven't like read as much as I should. I read Lord of the Rings when I was younger, but that was so long ago that I can hardly remember the specific reading experience, you know. And I've tried to read it again later, and I'm now slowly going through like the audiobooks again, but I really just need to just read it again.
Yeah.
And because he is beautiful, and what I want to ask you, what do you, besides the integration of the faith stuff, which is very like subtly integrated, more like just part of the fabric.
Yeah.
What do you like about him?
I just think he understands beauty so well and knows how to lace beauty and hope through everything, even when he gets so remarkably tragic.
Yes.
Even The Hobbit is quite tragic towards the end, with the characters that die. I won't say it if you haven't read The Hobbit somehow and want to read The Hobbit. If you want to read The Hobbit, I feel like you would have, unless you're 5, in which case, I don't know that you should be listening to a podcast at 5. I don't know what benefits you're getting from it. But anyways, I just think he's so great at lacing beauty. Just his imagination overflows with it, and his storytelling is so grand. I love really intimate, personal themes being told with a giant paintbrush, which I feel like action storytelling does a lot of times when it's really done well, and sci-fi and fantasy can do really well. And I think those are ultimately traced back to Lewis and Tolkien especially. But Tolkien just can have such a grand scope, just the depth of his imagination, which of course came from his influences, and then the beauty that came from it, from his appreciation of prose, his
prose
deep
is so
relationship
good.
with his faith. I think he understands what eternity is going to be. His descriptions of eternity are my favorite descriptions out there of any thing that I have read.
Of anything that you might be thinking, Nate.
I guess maybe except for Revelation 20.
Yeah.
1 or 22, when heaven's coming down. That's rich and
pretty
wonderful.
good.
But Tolkien's is as great an interpretation of what that could be or feel like as I've read. So just the beauty and hope that he laces through.
Even in like, have you read The Silmarillion?
Yes.
Have you? So you've read the story of the children of Huron.
Yeah.
Which has no happiness.
Heartbreaking, Shakespearean level tragedy.
Yeah. But it's still a beautiful thing to experience, though.
He really understood, which I think Shakespeare's an artist who understands this. I think there's a few that are, how to pull beauty out of something that can be so tragic and in which it doesn't feel like there should be beauty in.
Yeah, I think it just ends horribly. Horrible things happen along the way, and it's just, but he just tells it so well.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that. What was I going to say? I interrupted you for not.
I snatched it from your mind.
But he's not afraid to have like hard realism, and that hard bad things happen, but it just feels like, well, no, this is just what happened, and so this is what I had to write down.
Yeah,
is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. I think part of the way he's able to hold that and the like tragedy and stuff and still have the beauty is the world in which it's written in. There is something about it that is beautiful and redemptive. And I think Shakespeare is that way too. I think even just the language of it can help.
Yeah.
I think certainly for Shakespeare.
Definitely for Tolkien too, I'd say.
Yes. I think Tolkien has more than just the language, but I was thinking of Shakespeare and thinking of like Macbeth or Hamlet or something that's just like, what is the redemptive piece of this? But at least the prose is beautiful and has beautiful lines. But I just think that when they're able to create a world that has beauty and has hope in elements, then you can see that beyond the curtain there's more than just the tragedy you're seeing at face value.
Yes, because it's not nihilistic.
No.
Even though there are noble characters and there's good in the world, Mr. Wilson,
and it's worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Yes. What's another one for you?
Gonna talk about Tolkien's little buddy, Lewis.
Yes.
He's a big one for me. Mm-hmm. I've read a lot of him, and I have to go back and thank Focus on the Family Radio Theater because they produced all 7 of like the Chronicles of Narnia in audio drama form, which is excellent.
They're wonderful. Some of the best audio dramas I've heard.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Yeah, I mean, reading books, like reading the original is something you have to do, but I feel like you get like that experience, if not maybe more so, in the audio drama of it. Yep. Through the narrator, you still have a lot of the prose, and it's just very, very well done. But Lewis in general, the way that he can take like really deep things but make them digestible to you is wonderful, and it's like fun to read too. Mm-hmm. It like feels like, oh, he's so delightful to read. He's not like one of the big deep philosophers, but I think he's just good at it because maybe those other philosophers would have got their philosophy out more if they were good at
I think so.
telling about how it is, and he just makes it digestible by being very like I mean, while saying things that are very mind blowing. Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
I love his space trilogy. Mm-hmm. is so good.
Which is an option for our book club on our Patreon if you want to
join
and check it out and vote. Yeah.
I think those get increasingly good through the 1, 2, and 3. Screw tape letters, like the.
Yep.
I've like when I listen to the audio drama of that, I've just had to like sometimes pause it and pray because I was like, oh, this is a thing that the devil does, and I need to, or that I do in my sinfulness, and I just need to pray and ask God's help for that. And so he was really great at pointing you to God and to eternal things. I think he's great as well as Tolkien of really pointing you to eternity. I think he's probably my favorite for that. Maybe if I read more Tolkien, I would agree.
Well, I think that they both have strengths. I don't think you can discount one or the other.
Yeah.
I think it just sort of comes down to which do you vibe more with,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
Because I also love Lewis. I mean, I would say he's influential for me as well. I used to listen to Screw Tape Letters every year. It's just amazing, rich, beautiful, ugly, you know, and so true. So, Lewis is great.
Great Divorce. That's good.
That is a good one. I've only listened through that one once.
Oh, okay.
But there is a lot of just powerful scenes and moments, convicting stuff.
Yeah, but he's still like very entertaining.
Yeah,
like
it never feels like you get chained down. I feel like he's
that's not
breezy.
preachy.
Yeah,
but you're still like getting preached at. You know, kind of. Yeah. All right. Do you have another inspiration?
I do have one more.
Okay.
Who do you think it is?
Wow.
You're gonna say one that isn't it, and then I'll be like, "Oh shoot, is it that one?"
Should it be that one? Wow. Is this Shakespeare?
It's not Shakespeare. I've not engaged with enough Shakespeare.
Okay.
I don't think. I've only watched a handful of his plays. Do you want to have one more guess?
Andrew Peterson.
No, but that is happening.
It's Andrew Peterson.
He's probably more influential than the one that I was going to say.
We were going to talk.
I was going to mention George Lucas.
Yeah.
Just purely as an artist, throwing out the faith side, which you should never do. but not
I got you.
Highlighting that, just the like ambition and sort of just. I think Lucas is just a very childlike creator, where he's just like. Just so pure in his creation. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not good, and sometimes it's not good, but I love it anyways because I grew up on it. But also he was bold in a way that I really admire as an artist, where he was just like, I think that this can be done.
Right.
So we're just going to do it.
Now, let me hear from you about this.
Yeah.
Did you watch both seasons of Light and Magic?
I only watched the first season because then my son started sleeping through the night. So
okay, yeah. The first season's better, where they are talking about the production company that he started, Industrial Light and Magic, and they do all like the practical, amazing effects for Star Wars and so many other.
And the second one's talking
movies.
more about like visual effects. And
yes,
stuff, right?
that definitely bringing in CG and stuff, which he also pioneered through Industrial Light and Magic.
Yep.
But in that one, you can really see that, at least in the documentary, they made it seem from him that he cared about pushing the industry forward.
Yep.
Was a big thing to him. And I wonder if he maybe even cared more about that than the stories.
I think he did.
Because it seemed like from that, like the prequel trilogy was an impetus for him to push the industry forward more than, well, he had some good storytelling.
Yeah.
Like in the episode 3 and that one. But it seemed like his biggest thing was pushing the industry forward. And I'm good with throwing out what I created and all this great practical effects because we're moving past that, which is, I think, sad for a lot of people like me who so appreciates the physical because of nostalgia and also because I think physical has a lot of meaning because we're incarnate creatures. And so it's great to have physical things happening.
Yep.
But he was just good, like, oh, we're just going on because this will make it easier and faster to make movies.
Yeah, I don't know if it from what I know, I think I would probably say that sounds more like I would think they were equal for him, not one over the other. I think he made those movies because he wanted to make them. I also know he cared a lot in film about making new things, but he also just cared about the kinds of stories he wanted to tell. Like Indiana Jones, not doing anything new there. But that is just, and Steven Spielberg directed those.
Right, but he was like producer?
Instrumental, yeah. And I think he
had the story,
the character.
Okay,
yeah. So that was just, I want an adventure film like what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And I think Steven would be a great guy to do it. Let's get with Steven and let's make it.
Yeah.
You know, there's totally drawbacks to his approach, and you know, I love practical effects too. Like, I think Lord of the Rings is the pinnacle of visual and practical. I think Peter Jackson probably has a lot of that same sort of spirit that George Lucas does, but with a healthier balance to it. Although, I don't know, The Hobbit got a little CGI heaven, but
that's because
behind in schedule. And
yeah, exactly.
But I think George Lucas was really great at just, this is something that nobody is thinking about, but that should happen.
Yeah.
And then once it happened, it was like, whoa, why wasn't this a thing? And we can do this. And he was just somebody that was like, I think we can get there. We're just going to go there.
Right. And he was so forward pushing that once you got there, he wasn't content to stay there either.
Right. Yeah. Like, got the practical effects working, and he was like, great, well, now we have to do CGI, which has given us so much.
Yeah.
It's overused for sure, but without it, we don't have Gollum. We don't have Planet of the Apes movies that I love. We don't have, you know, any of the Marvel movies, visual effects that are done well. A lot of them are you know, churned out right now. We don't have Jurassic Park.
Yeah, or even a lot of it like animated movies too.
Yeah,
Pixar.
I mean, it's totally, Pixar is completely that. Pixar, I think, started out with ILM and then was bought by Apple.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually Disney. Something like now it's reunited.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So like, I think he's sort of an extreme example of what that looks like. But I also just think he's really pure and just open-hearted about, this is the thing that I care about doing. With Star Wars, with like, this is what
even
I
if people think it's dumb.
Right. Like now he's just like, I don't really care much about making a movie. I just want to make a museum about the visual arts. And so that's what he's doing.
Is that the kind of thing he's doing?
Yeah. And so I just love that he's just like, well, this is the thing that I want to do now. So I'm going to do this thing. And,
I like your impression.
And I want to do the prequels. So I'm going to do the prequels. And I want complete creative control. So I'm going to write and direct them, even though that's a mistake. But I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think watching George Lucas is just some of the most pure creativity that I can see. Maybe not some of the best, but some of the most pure. And when it's great, like I don't think there's anything to match it. Especially like his action scenes, nothing I don't think can compare to the way he shoots action. And when you get the visual effects and the music and everything together, like when he's in his element, sort of similarly to Tolkien,
what's
there's
like
such a depth to
a
it.
great action scene that
the end of episode 3 is so good. It's so good.
In the volcano.
That and the Yoda, you need both of them together. The interplay of those two, the editing, the flow of it, the cinematography that is so kinetic and yet so clear. You always know exactly what's happening in that fight, which is so hard to do.
Interesting.
It's so hard to get it feeling like, oh, I'm moving, and you feel the movement.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I can see every move that they're doing. The visual effects are on point. Both color palettes are completely different and beautiful. The CG is wonderful. The flow of everything is great. I think the performances generally in that section are good because there's not a lot of dialogue. So it's just a lot of like seeing these great actors playing off of each other with their faces, and also CGI Yoda. You have, I think, some of the best 15 minutes that John Williams has ever composed. It's just one of my pet peeves is that on the soundtrack, there's a song Battle of the Heroes that was written for the Anakin Obi-Wan part, and then there's a song Duel of the Fates that was from Phantom Menace. But since it's from Phantom Menace, it's not on the Revenge of the Sith track. But in the third act, those two songs interplay and work around each other and then flow into a like Darth Vader theme that pulls from episode 5, and you don't have that all together, and I'm like, I just want to listen to that, and I'm never able to.
Oh man.
Anyways, so that's me gushing about George Lucas for 5 minutes, but yeah. Did you have anyone else?
I do.
You do?
Yes, this is going to be another just pure art one.
Yeah.
I think very influential to me is Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, I grew up on those books, and there's something just about the whimsical nature of it that still like existed in its own world. It wasn't just complete bonkers, though one could look at it and think it is. But it's like it's living in its own world that he created. I think has influenced the way that I draw.
Yeah.
And just help maybe fuel my love for whimsy, stuff like that, which I think is a big part of me. And I think
it is.
In the art that I create now, you can definitely see ties back to Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably part of why you understood the version of Jesus that Godspell has so well, because that's just sort of integrated into you so well, and that's a really important part of that version of the character.
Oh, like the whimsies?
I think so, because it allows you to have the humor of it without it being cheap and sort of, I don't know, clownish in a negative way.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, because I think you could do like humor in like kids' books in a way that's very like cheap and stuff, but he's not
sort
like
of crass.
He's not talking down to kids, even though it's so silly. It's like, how much lower could you get? You're just making up silly words. But you really get the sense that he respects his audience.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing as I talk now, and that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. There was once in Holland they had a traveling art exhibit of Dr. Seuss's art.
Ooh.
And it was like his fine art, like painting.
Wow.
But it was still the same kind of characters that he did, but just in like fine art, like painted mode and stuff, whereas before it's all like line art with like just basic fills. And like they also had like, he has these crazy creatures, and he had like trophies of them, like heads sticking out of the wall, like you would have a deer or a moose, but it's like his creatures, that he made. And it's just like some of the stuff had like a little bit of like darker look to it, but it was still these creatures that he made. And it's just something about them just like sets my brain on fire of like, this is wonderful and this is what I love.
That's great. Well, that's our main topic.
Yeah.
It's time for some rapid fire questions.
Jon shot first.
We'll update you guys every week. Which of us drew first? I have to find your questions because maybe
here I got them.
Prep fast enough. Okay, I'll do the random thing. Are you asking first or am I asking first?
This isn't them.
I got it, John. No, I don't.
Here they are.
Oh, good.
Okay. I'll ask you first.
Okay.
Give me a number.
1.
Okay. Did we do this?
One of us.
No, I don't think we did.
Did we not? I thought one of us answered 1.
I'll just ask again. You can remind me. Which gospel is your personal favorite? I don't think we did this one.
Oh, we didn't do this one. That's a great question.
Which gospel is your personal favorite?
I don't know if I can choose.
Really?
Yeah. It's the Bible school student in me.
Because you're I see benefits to all of them, which of course there are.
Well, it's a little more complicated than that.
Oh.
But kind of that.
Oh.
The thing that made me fall in love with the Bible as a literary text, I believe, was the Gospels. Because and the fact that there's 4 of them and what those 4 do. When you look at it at face value, it's like, why is there 4 versions of the same story in this giant volume?
Yeah.
When that doesn't happen anywhere except for Chronicles and Kings, which you could ask the same question about. But why are there 4 versions of this story? And delving into that question was just amazing from a literary perspective and from a historical perspective. And seeing the ways in which they work together and also the ways in which they differ, but what that means about each gospel and the gospels as a whole and what they're telling.
Do you have an example?
Yes.
Good.
Oh no, come on, John. That's when Jesus is tempted, the tempting of Jesus.
Yes.
happens in Matthew and Mark and Luke, not in John. It only happens in the Synoptic Gospels, which is Matthew, Mark, and Luke, which detail a certain period of Jesus' ministry. John details a different period of Jesus' ministry, and then they all culminate in the crucifixion, which makes up the bulk of these because they're ancient biographies, and that's how ancient biographies were. They focused a lot on people's deaths, which is then fun when you throw in a resurrection.
Yeah.
But, Matthew and Mark likely... So now I'm going to get into textual criticism. This is about to get so nerdy. This is not rapid fire at all, but it's too late. We've opened the floodgates. So textual criticism says Mark was likely the earliest gospel. There's debate about whether Mark or Matthew was the earliest gospel, but generally, I think the majority of people believe that Mark was the earliest gospel.
That's what I've heard.
There's some contention on there. Then people say Matthew and Luke both pulled from Mark and added their own things, but also there seems to have been a second source because there are areas where Matthew and Luke differ from Mark but agree.
The Q document.
Yes, the Q document.
Which there's also an Adventures in Odyssey about.
There is?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's like an archaeological adventure.
Oh my
thing
gosh.
Of
I love that.
Oh, did Mr. Whitaker find the Q? And we have to go find him in the Middle East. And
Oh my gosh, I love
it's
that.
the episode where they introduced the second Mr. Whitaker
Oh.
after the first one had died.
Oh, that's so fun. I don't know how I didn't hear those. Or maybe I did and I didn't know what the Q document was at that point. So yes, the Q document, or it's possible that Matthew or Luke pulled from one or the other, because these were probably documents that were sort of in conversation with each other. Mark is really stripped down and bare bones, but Mark and Matthew, the temptation is the same. Luke, it's different. The order is switched.
Right.
Matthew and Mark, if I'm remembering right, end with Jesus being offered to throw himself down.
Okay.
Luke, I think that one's in the middle, I think. Fact check me on this. But those three are different. Why are they different? It's such a small,
Why would they be
simple
different?
thing. What is the purpose of it being different? Well, Matthew, or maybe it's Mark and Luke that agree. I don't remember. Two of them are the same. Either Matthew or Luke are different. I think that it's Luke that's different. But Luke
ends with the attempt to throw down.
Okay.
To throw down from the temple or whatever.
Here, I'll pull up Matthew real quick. We're doing live biblical analysis.
Okay, I'll look up Mark.
I hope people are finding this entertaining.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? As I scroll through here.
Oh, the temptation of Jesus is like 2 verses in Mark.
That sounds about right.
It doesn't even detail them. The Spirit immediately drove him out into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness 40 days, being tempted by Satan. And he was with the wild animals, and the angels were ministering to him. So that was nice. That's it.
So
it's Matthew and Luke that contrast
yes.
each
Can you
other.
pull up Luke again really quick for me?
Yep.
I'm gonna read them out for each of us. Okay. So in Matthew, Satan says, "If you're the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." He answered, "It is written, man must not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city, had him stand on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will give you his angels orders concerning you. They will support you with their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone."
Blah, blah, blah.
Jesus told him, "It is also written, do not test the Lord your God." Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. He said to them, "I will give you all these things if you will fall down and worship me." Then Jesus told him, "Go away, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only."
So we get higher and higher in
Yes.
Matthew.
Luke, we have bread. If you're the Son of God, command the stone to become bread. And Jesus answered him, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone." The devil took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. "To you I will give all this authority and their glory, for it's been delivered to me, and I will give it to whom I will.
Yeah.
If you then will worship me, it will all be yours." And Jesus answered him, "It's written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and you shall serve him only." And then he took him to Jerusalem and set him at the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, if you're the Son of God, throw yourself down from here, for it's written, he will command his angels concerning you and to guard you. And on the blah, blah, blah. Jesus answered him, as it said, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test, and then the devil departed.
Okay.
So those two are different. Why are they different? So it's just really engaging to look into. Matthew's gospel likely was directed at the Jews specifically.
Yeah.
It is the one that references Jewish ritual the most, and very offhandedly, as if you already know what this is. Whereas Luke is trying to create a historical, orderly account.
I like Luke.
I also enjoy that
I
about
just like
Luke.
him as a person.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
You get to know him a little bit more in Acts,
Yeah.
and it's just like...
Which is
he
so
seems
fun,
nice.
and being like, here's Luke, and here's the sequel. And then randomly, I show up, and I start using first-person
I love
pronouns.
that part. It's like, and they did this, and they did this, and then we did this. We, the narrator, has entered the story.
I know, it's great. Luke is also generally more focused on the Gentiles.
Right.
But you can find these things by going through the text and seeing what are they emphasizing.
Right.
How are they arranging these things? These two stories are arranged differently for a reason.
Right.
They differ, and there's a reason that those authors chose to do that. What is it that they're saying? Why does Matthew keep going higher and higher? Is Matthew emphasizing the fact that he's the Messiah, the Son of God, emphasizing that divinity? Has Luke found what the actual historical order is and is just giving us that? Or is there significance to Luke in bringing us back to Jerusalem and throwing off of the temple? It's fascinating. And I fell in love with how do I'm not studied enough in it. But I just fell in love with how do these four different writers depict the life of Jesus. What did they choose to highlight? What did they choose to emphasize? How did they choose to order things? And what is that telling us? What is the truth that this gospel is communicating? I mean, there's the gospel, obviously, but there's something more that it's communicating that maybe is not greater, but more detail.
Yeah.
If it's arranging it in this way,
Yep.
if we're spending time in Judea with John, if we include the transfiguration or if we don't, if we breeze through it really fast like Mark, they highlight these different things. Luke, I believe, emphasizes the Holy Spirit a bit more than the other Gospels. You can see him alluding to that more, which makes a lot of sense, having been with the disciples,
Right.
seeing all of that happening in Acts.
Right.
So I don't know that I can pick, because to me, it is the fact that they are all together, that yes, maybe some of these details differ like Matthew and Luke. One of those orders is incorrect. One of those orders is the way that it actually happened.
Right, but also it's like that it wasn't even important so much in
Exactly.
literature back then. It's like, that's
Yes,
not even
it
what
wasn't.
we're claiming to do.
Yes, we make such a big deal out of it.
Right.
But in reality, they have the events, but they are arranging them out almost in an argument.
Sure.
Luke's argument is that Jesus is the savior of the world for all of us, for the Gentiles. Matthew's argument is Jesus is the Messiah that has been promised forever. Mark's is that he's the Son of God and a suffering servant that's come to die for our sins. John's is he is God incarnate that loves us.
Yep.
That loves us so much that John's, I think, is the most emotional of them. He delves into that. I would be tempted to say John, and I would also be tempted to say Matthew, but I would be betraying the depth of all of it, because Luke's is so brilliant at compiling it all together and reaching out beyond the Jewish context and the Jewish culture. And Mark is so great at just saying, this is what it is. We're breezing past and we're hitting these important moments in Jesus's life where he submits to the Father, where he goes through what he goes through. And so that was the longest answer to a rapid fire question.
So basically,
ever.
you hate my question.
No, it's
Poorly
a
done.
wonderful question. It's a great
Badly
question
done, Nate.
that I
Badly
don't
done.
think I can give an answer to. I think I just added 10 minutes on to our ending.
That was lovely, though.
Okay, well, thanks. All right. Give me this. I'm doing number 7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't know what it is.
Well, it's same question as above, but with living people you don't currently know.
Oh, okay. What's above?
Above is, who are the top 3 formerly living people that you would most like to sit and chat with in a room with leather chairs, low lighting, and a fireplace burning? But it's with living people, not formerly living people.
Okay, so there are people
I also
who are
do want to
currently
highlight
alive.
that I think your phone did this, but it said formally living, not formerly, as if I'm a formal living person.
I probably just typed it wrong.
Maybe, but I just thought it was, I liked the sentence, what formally living people? We don't want informally living people. So yes, 3 people all alive, cozy vibes,
that you
chatting.
don't currently know.
Oh, that you don't currently know, but who are
at the
currently
end.
alive. Good catch.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to be in this for sure. But
Okay. I've not thought through this a lot, so
that's why it's rapid fire.
we can always change this later.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Eric Metaxas would be fun
Yeah.
to have. He's very smart and knowledgeable, but just like down to earth and funny too. So he would be a good energetic part of this hangout. And so then I have to see who would go along well with Eric Metaxas. John Lennox, who I think Eric Metaxas has interviewed. He's do you know who John Lennox is? He's
I do, but I'm forgetting.
he's like a British mathematician, but he
Yes.
does like apologetics,
Yes.
and he might be Irish, or Scottish. He just has a
You better hope he's not Irish or Scottish, or he's going to be really mad that you called him British.
Yeah, I think he might be one of those, because he just has he's an older man, but he's so smart, but has like a very sweet, reminds you like a little bit of Winnie the Pooh,
Oh, yeah.
kind of way of talking about things and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Winston Churchill.
Mm.
Okay, so that would be nice. And then I might throw in Matt Fradd, who is
I don't know him.
he is a Catholic YouTuber who has a YouTube channel called Pints with Aquinas.
Oh, I've heard of Pints with Aquinas, but I've never watched it.
Yeah. And so he's he's the host of the show, and he mostly talks about talks with other Catholics, not always though. Talks to some Protestants too, and he's just like a lovely guy to listen to. And I think these dudes together and me being able to sit there to be really nice.
Yeah. That does sound fun. All right.
Okay.
Let's roll the dice.
All right,
10.
10.
I swore
is that
this
the last
happened
one?
last time. That's the last one.
Okay, I answered this one last
Okay.
time.
I thought you had one last time then, but I guess not.
Okay, what is the most important way in which your wife has affected you?
Oh, heavens. Why are you asking me these questions that will go on for 20 minutes? Rapid fire
Just
my
the
beehive.
most important way.
The most important way. Oh.
Or that's hard to think of.
I know. I was like,
And
that
how about just
physically hurts.
away?
Away. Well, the thing that comes to mind immediately is I think that she's helped me to be more... What is the word? I don't know. Empathetic is the word that's coming to mind.
Okay, yeah.
I think I had some empathy, but she's really... She's really challenged me to be empathetic, which sounds not good. Sounds like I need to be empathetic to her a lot, which, I mean, you should in marriage. No, I just think there is a really beautiful time in our relationship where she had not really, talked through things intellectually with a lot of people because she was scared that she would be, that her opinions wouldn't be valued. Mm-hmm. And that was a really core part of my family experience growing up. We talked about things all the time. We debated. And so I was like, no, I really want to hear your opinions and your viewpoints on these things. And so she started coming out of her shell. And then I was like, oh, well, I disagree. And she had a really great skill and boldness to call me on my intellectual opinions, and particularly the way in which I presented them, if they did not best treat other people as human beings with value. And that was a very challenging season of like, I would say this and she'd be like, well, what about this? I mean, a really classic one is she was Catholic, I was Protestant. And I thought I was very, what's the word? I don't know. Literate and deft at my engaging with Catholics who had just a broader theological difference to me than other denominations. And I was very wrong. And she would call me when I was not being generous or charitable or approaching something in good faith. And so I think she's really challenged me and helped me to grow in being charitable to others, being gracious to others, being empathetic to others, and not necessarily changing what the truth is for them, but being able to say, okay, I got to get back to the fact that these people are the thing that matter the most. And I need to view these people in light of the truth of God. But that truth always has at its core that God loves them. Yeah.
Maybe you could start by not calling Catholics these people.
I was not speaking about Catholics. I was speaking about another mysterious group of people.
Oh, yeah.
Just whoever
I call them these people, too.
I was talking about you. You're these people. You're multiple people, Nate.
Most of your conversations are like, Shay's like, you need to not be hating on Nate so much.
But those people.
He's one person, but those people.
Nate's. All right. We've got.
Okay, what's our number?
6. Didn't you just answer 7?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna just double count, but I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So who are the top 3
dead people,
formerly living people that you would most like to sit and chat with in a room with leather chairs, low lighting, and a fireplace burning?
Oh yeah. Okay. The setting I think does make a difference.
You got both of these back to back. It's hilarious.
Really? Yeah. It was back to front. Really? Yeah. Good in order. Okay. C.S. Lewis.
Yep.
Yep. Of course.
If only you'd mentioned 2 other people who were the most influential to you instead of Art,
Dr.
you would have had an answer already.
And Mr. Whitaker. We could do fiction people another time.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. It is interesting because you have to think about all these people together.
Right. There's a group dynamic.
Right. Because I've answered this before, but I've said my great grandma who I've never met. But
I
that
feel
doesn't
like we've
really
talked about it before.
I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
But I feel like that doesn't make sense. Why am I paying attention to these former literary guys? I should just be talking to my grandma right now.
Shut up, Lewis.
We're talking.
I've never met my great-grandmother, and
Fitz
you're trying to interrupt this sweet family moment.
How did you even get here? Okay, but let's do Lewis. Mm-hmm. Let's do George Washington. I think that could be nice.
Oh yeah, I like Washington. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see them.
I'd really like to know about him better. Mm-hmm. Lewis, Washington.
I feel like you should throw a third one in that really doesn't jive, and we'll make this whole experience off. No, you shouldn't. That would be funny.
Yeah, I don't know that I like Apostle Paul's interesting, but I don't know if that quite fit. Actually, I'm gonna maybe the Apostle John.
Yeah,
because I feel like he's a little more chill.
Yeah, he is more chill. I feel like
he'd work better in that group a little better. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's a fun group.
Yeah.
Nate, have we created a podcast episode?
I think so.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. Of course, if you enjoyed it, please please share, please leave a review. Do all of the classic internet things because it really does help us reach.
You didn't do it for those other podcasts, but do it for us.
Do it for us. Yeah. Leave a comment down below about what artists or theologians have most influenced you. We want to hear about it. I love reading you guys' comments. It's great. I do read everyone. I don't always heart everyone, but I do love everyone. I don't heart everyone not because they suck, but just because I forget.
Not digitally.
I love them in an embodied way, not in a fake I'm pressing a button kind of way. But yes, please review, like, share, send the podcast to people you know who would like it. Doesn't have to be this episode. It could be an episode with a guest who was cool if you're like, hear an interesting conversation. I thought we had an interesting conversation.
I think so.
Cool. If you are interested in supporting Artists of the Way, please go to our website. We're in the middle of our Fill the Stage campaign, which is essential for us to be able to stage our production of Bandstand. So please go consider donating if you would like. Our goal is to reach $20,000 by March 1st. So we've only got about a month and a half. So go to Artists of the Way. Under Support Us, click Fill the Stage. You can find all the information there and watch our graphic fill up and help us stage this really beautiful, powerful show. It's going to be great. Nate, am I forgetting anything?
Nope.
Great. I've remembered everything in the world.
Great.
Thanks, Nate. Thank you guys so much for watching. We so appreciate you. We say it every time, but I mean
We mean it this time.
We mean it this time. We really do appreciate you guys. But yes, thank you guys. Hope you have a blessed week. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.